Hey guys, welcome to fourth episode of our podcast. Some number. We've already lost track, which is good because we've made a lot now. I think it's fourth of the Ignited Sparks podcast. It's been a busy month.
Yeah,
it's been a turbulent month, both for PR, for standard bannings, or bannings in general. Lots of announcements and announcements for announcements.
Announcements. I love those.
Oh god, those are great. Yeah, no, those are awesome. But before we get into it, first, just a shout out to Mogul. Thanks for running the first Australian-New Zealand online tournament. Steph and I are both qualified for the top 32, and it is a requirement for both of us to be streaming. So next weekend, you'll see both of us online streaming our tournament. We have actually no idea when exactly it's going to be.
Yeah, there's a few questions about how, because we have one computer between us.
We'll figure that one out.
So we will be coming to you. And we're also not sure what channel the other person will be streaming on.
Probably a personal channel,
yeah.
I'd assume. So, yeah, maybe you can do Accumulated Knowledge on Twitch, and I'll do Accumulated Knowledge on YouTube.
It's time for our second channel.
Yeah. It's time for that.
Spin-off.
Currently, we're not sure whether it's going to be a 2-day tournament or a 1-day, which is remarkable because it's literally 6 days away, but we'll trust Mogul.
If you want to hear us complain about all these issues and more, tune in to Orchid's podcast tonight.
Yeah.
That we're doing.
We're doing that tonight, so it should be out in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
We'll put a post somewhere when it's all out. So, moving on from that, the biggest thing that's happened this month pretty much are the BNR announcement. Was it this week? This Monday?
It was Tuesday for us.
Tuesday for us. Yeah, so let's just go through that. We had Bannings and Standard. We had
Bannings in almost every format.
Apart
from Pauper, so clearly that's...
And Pioneer.
Oh, yeah. Well, Pioneer's had a couple in between.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
So,
I mean, they undid all the Pauper damage last time, so Pauper was alright.
So, if we go through the formats from oldest to newest...
Yep.
Legacy finally had Ren and 6 banned. This means that
You say finally, but Modern Horizon's been out for 6 months?
Yeah, well, the problem was, when they banned Deathrite Shaman, it was because that every deck was doing exactly the same thing and had no mana-based problems ever, and then they print Ren and 6, which is just a 2-mana version.
The actual Planeswalker version of the creature
an
Planeswalker.
actual Planeswalker instead of Deathrite Shaman being pseudo. But then... So now poor Teemo Delver players going back to their deck being awful. So they can't loop Wastelands every single turn, lock you out of the game. So I think it's a very good change.
Yeah.
It helps with the diversity a lot. It means you can start playing Elves again. So I like that.
Elves is good. Kalia?
Kalia,
she can.
Yeah,
she
Death
can
and
do
Taxes
things.
is up again.
Yeah.
You can play that
things with one
deck
toughness.
if you really want to.
Yeah. No, it's good. I'm glad they've done that. It is interesting to see the effects of Modern Horizon and also people's receptions of the product. When it first came out, everyone thought, oh my god, it's great for Commander cards, great for these formats, it's mixing it up. But from what I've seen in terms of surveys, a lot of happiness from that format has been kind of declining.
So much.
The biggest opinion in the Magic community so far seems to be Modern Horizons was really fun. Please don't do it again.
Yeah. Or at least let's have a long break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it shook up a lot of metas, and there was obviously they put the power level a little bit too high on some of the cards.
A wee bit.
And it completely just warped formats, which is very strange for non-rotating formats. So.
And then what else is there? Nothing's really happened to Modern, which is quite surprising. What with basically, well, in Modern it's probably okay. The best decks in the format are mid-range decks. That's probably a good sign. Then we have Pioneer. I guess we should go to Pioneer next.
Oh no, the other total format, the one that had
Vintage.
Narset got restricted.
Narset was restricted in Vintage. Yeah,
which
that's fair enough.
Seems like the correct thing to do.
Yeah, well, the idea that Ancestral Recall just made so much worse. People want to be able to play with their Power 9.
Yeah.
Can't let that not happen. And also it's a blue card, so why is this making blue even better?
Yeah. Nah, it's yeah. Again, the trend of this BNR announcement was that it was 3 planeswalkers that was affected across 3 formats, which it just kind of goes to show the push design of planeswalkers, which is the overall sentiment I think a lot of Magic players are having.
Yeah.
About these planeswalkers, they're just not really making the game more fun.
Yeah, they're fun to play with.
Yeah, when you got 5 of them on the board, you feel invincible.
Well, I mean, they're not fun to play with if you're also playing against them, which is half the issue.
Yeah, that is half the experience, unfortunately.
So I think that's basically summing up why these Planeswalker designs are so bad. It's just, they're really fun to play with. They probably nailed that down. Like, Oko is actually quite a cool Planeswalker. Like, he does lots of really cool things, but he's actually super oppressive, and if you ever play against him, you're just like way behind immediately.
Yeah.
So speaking of Oko,
Oh,
Standard
he got
lost a few cards. Veil of Summer, Once Upon a Time, and Oko.
Yep.
All green. Let's acknowledge that.
Yep.
And Pioneer's also been losing a lot of green cards at very rapid paces.
Yes.
Yeah, Pioneer in the last month has lost Oath of Nissa. It's lost
Leyline of Abundance.
Leyline of Abundance. Yep.
And Veil of Summer.
And Veil of Summer. Yep.
Which is kind of a weird one that they just banned Veil, considering that Mono Green kind of wasn't playing it that much. Like some versions weren't playing.
No, it was more. It was like a preemptive banning. Like it's basically them acknowledging that Veil is too strong.
Yeah, it oppresses blue and black and the way they interact, I guess. Yeah.
I don't necessarily think Veil should be banned in Pioneer. I also think like it's funny they've banned like all these good green cards, and Green Devotion is still very much a thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're actually doing that banning around thing that they do, where they want to ban Nixthos,
but they can't.
But they don't want to kill the deck, and they don't want to ban Nixthos.
Coming in the next format.
And there's a good chance that it could be printed in Theros, maybe.
Yeah.
They want Nixthos for other decks that has a possibility of being played in
other devotion and things like that. Yeah.
The strength of green is this is so consistent because you have 8 mana dorks and you have Oath.
Technically, 12.
Once Upon a Time. Sorry now. Yeah, you can play 12.
And yeah, Once Upon a Time is kind of like another 4 copies.
You have 3 mana on turn 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah, you don't have to play green. Black is doing really well at the moment. Mono
really well, yeah. Mono black, yeah. So it's black or green.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are your 2 options. It seems, but no, that's not really the case. There is a lot of options you can do in Pioneer, and you can play a rogue deck and still definitely have a lot of fun with it.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Steph over here is playing Grixis Scarab God, Fires.
Yeah, throwback to Kaladesh Standard.
I was trying to think of a catchy name for it. Scarab of Invention? Scarab on Fire. Scarab on Fire. Perfect name. Yeah, so like, you know, the format's still developing as much as it's also, you know, all these tier 1 decks are bubbling to the top. I played Golgari Field of the Dead yesterday.
Speaking of, do you think that's going to get banned?
Field of the Dead? Yeah, oh man. Maybe.
I haven't been playing enough.
Yeah.
Pioneer's a little short on answers. There's no super efficient counterspells. The removal's okay, but it's not that much better than any given standard format. The hand disruption's good because of Thoughtseize, but like in terms of land removal, you kind of have to be in green.
Got Field of the Dead. Field of Ruin.
Field of Ruin's good, and it does help.
Deck.
Yeah, you have to be a 2-color deck, and also it's quite hard because that deck plays double threat, so it plays both Loose Veil AB, which does get turned off by Pithing Needle, but then also plays Field of the Dead, which can only be killed by land hate.
And not to forget, it still has the plan B of Tireless Tracker as well. Just draws cards.
Yeah, and then it's just a creature deck.
Yeah. I watched Channel Star City Games do a playoff between Golgari Field and Zombies. Not Zombies, Mono Black aggro. And they were talking about how difficult it is for the Mono Black to sideboard as opposed to Banfield, because against Banfield, they're really on the plan of Zombies, so you just bring in all the hand disruption and you're fine. But because of Tireless Tracker, you have to keep in some removal, you have to keep in some hand disruption, and you just kind of really, if you have the wrong answer at the wrong time, you just fall behind the field. Because you're going to have to kill them before turn 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Or they've got a humongous wall that just keeps regenerating. Yeah, so... And the Mono Black deck doesn't block very well. It's not the best. It's got a Scrap Heap and the Bloodsoak Champion. Both of them can't block. It's got
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how Pioneer resolves. I'm happy to see that Magic Fest Brisbane has some Pioneer events. We have a fortnight to build a couple Pioneer decks.
Yeah, the ban list is a bit the ban announcement's a bit tight there.
Because there's not going to be another announcement next week because of some tournament.
Yeah.
But then there could be one after that. Actually, there's a high chance, right? If something spikes this tournament and destroys it, which since that's gonna we're literally flying out on the day the BNR announcement will come out. So
yeah,
I'm looking to, I think, just borrow a couple pieces, build something, and if it gets banned, then well, there you go.
I mean, the solution to that is not to play tier deck. Play Scarab Fires.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah. So
there's no way they're gonna ban anything there.
Yeah. Well, I built Hardened Scales.
Oh yeah, it's all ready to go.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Which version is it? The Affinity version, or is it the one with Experiment 1, or?
No, it's quite an old list actually.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't kept it quite up to date, but
Has it got the 4 snakes?
Yeah.
So it's the 400 scales, 4 snakes, and a bunch of the X-cast
Yeah.
artifacts. Yeah, nice. That's a solid list. Yeah, it'll win games. Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Man, okay, so we haven't finished with all the bands that
Oh
they've
my
been
gosh,
announced.
yeah.
Have we not? What did we miss?
Standard?
Oh
Did
yeah,
we didn't really
I
discuss
guess
Standard.
we brought it up and then we didn't discuss it.
we
So
went
yeah,
over it.
that's a good transition. Let's talk about standard meta. So it's been a week. Cats, huh? Cats and ovens.
Cats.
I knew this.
Three different flavors of cats and ovens.
Yep. Oh man, we got Rakdos cats, we got Jund cats, and then Golgari cats.
Just,
So.
You say cats. There's really just one cat. And it's just a 1/1 for one. It's such a shit thing to be dominating the meta.
Yeah, but
and uncommon.
So the thing that's been interesting is that I thought that Adventures had a chance, but I thought Adventures would be really hurt by the fact they lost Once Upon a Time. It ruins your consistency of hitting the Innkeeper. But then I forgot that Mayhem Devil destroys Innkeeper.
Yeah.
Wow! As soon as it lands and you have an oven or anything to sack, that Innkeeper doesn't live. And yes, Golgari can recur it over and over again, but when you have a thing that's practically killing Innkeepers for free, you just cannot stick on the board. But with the Twitch rivals, apparently Golgari Adventures did win, so it must have some legs. But that was literally like a day or two after the ban announcements. But yeah, I don't think this Innkeeper deck's gonna stick around.
I think the other weakness is with when it's first out, because I've been grinding Jund, and when you play against Golgari, you've got a lot of card advantage from your Trail of Crumbs and stuff.
Yep.
Or you'll tick down your Vraska, then they have to kill it, or you'll tick it up and draw a card, and possibly get a trigger off a Mayhem Devil, and then they have to kill it. So even though they're supposed to get extra value off their cards, you're getting more value.
Yeah.
So if you're outvaluing the value deck, that's pretty strong.
Trail of Crumbs is just the best card advantage engine in the GAT format.
Yeah.
I hate that card so much. A turn 2 card advantage card that it's so cheap.
I mean, you can't get a card advantage for turn 3, but once you can, once you get the card advantage,
it doesn't matter. Yeah,
pretty strong.
You're drawing so many cards every turn, and it's surprisingly a mana hungry deck, which is probably why it's playing 8 mana dorks. Which when I first saw the list, I was like, why is it like so many mana dorks? Doesn't want to play like removal
you look at it
or
and the
interaction.
curve's so low, the curve's all about 3, except for your Corvals and your Vraska.
But the thing is that you want to play a thing and then draw like 2 cards off it. You know, like it just generates so much card advantage that maybe we need Mill. Maybe Mill is our hero.
It's kind of amazing that Trail of Crumbs wasn't really played with Oko, because that's such a good combo in terms of just card draw. Of course, the reason why is the deck didn't need it because it was way too strong.
Oh yeah.
But
So I think this deck is really resilient, and it has a lot of ways to answer, especially the Jund version, and it feels really difficult to answer it in the other colors. Like you have to destroy the ovens, you have to destroy the trailer crumbs, you have to exile these darn cats, and then there's planeswalkers mixed in. Some of them playing Liliana, some of them playing Garruk. It's just
like the top end threats are becoming really heavy in this format. Like every deck is playing massive late game stuff.
Because that's definitely the answer. Like this deck can grind, so the way to finish the game is by finishing the game, which is why people are playing like Cavalier Fires. But anything green can really shut that down. You know, like you have Cindervines, you have Thrashing Brontodon, and if you destroy their fires, they can't combo kill you. They just can't do it. So
can't do very much, really.
They really can't. They just kind of dirtle. Especially same with Team of Reclamation. You know, they're here to finish the game, but if you blow up their
Wilderness.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't do anything.
No.
It's just, and you just sideboard on all the enchantment hit, and you're fine because your main engine will draw you into it. It'll gain you life. It's, I don't know.
Enchantments have been really strong for a while now. Like every time, because there's not a lot of good options for enchantment removal. No one wants to be running naturalizers. You don't even.
We have amazing answers.
You don't even really want to be running Threshing Branch. You will if you have to, but it's like when you were versing fires, it was better to try and hand disrupt them than wait for it to come down, because it came down and then they played something else and they got the value out of it and you lost your Threshing Brontodon. Whereas now Threshing Brontodon and Cindervines both sync with this Jund deck because they sacrifice themselves, so it's not actually a cost to be running them.
Oh, but the thing though is that these currently in the meta, these Fires of Invention decks aren't here to gain value. It's not like the Grixis deck. They're here to combo kill you. So when you kick the combo out of their feet, out from below them, they just can't finish the game because you are drawing way more cards. You are just disrupting them a lot more.
The usual way of, like, you still lose a lot by killing their fires, and then they play their Cavalcade and they discard all these cards that they don't, these dead cards in the matchup, and they draw another fires or something.
Cavalcade?
Not Cavalcade, Cavalier.
Cavalier.
Red Cavalier or Blue Cavalier.
But it's not a. It's a joke though. A Cavalier on turn 5 when you're playing Jund is not good enough.
Well, not now. It's not.
Oh yeah.
But against other decks.
Oh,
like the reason why Wilderness Reclamation stuck around for so long is because it was quite annoying to have to sideboard an enchantment removal.
Oh yeah, exactly. But now,
that's streamlined into
Jund,
just stuff you want to play.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I think Threshing Brontodon is an amazing card right now because you can bring those in against the Embercleave decks. Yeah. So they flash in their Embercleave. You just you do your block. You sack, kill. They lose their trample, and then it's just you're winning again.
Yeah,
like
and if they don't draw Embercleave, it's a really massive
Oh
roadblock.
yeah.
Are there any tier decks other than maybe Esper Control that aren't playing enchantments or artifacts?
That aren't playing them.
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
They were pretty playing artifacts.
Yeah. That's why the Jund deck is playing 4 Cindervines, because it's just the best thing right now.
It'd be interesting to see if we see those move from how much we see those move from side to main.
Oh gosh, once that happens,
I main deck Threshing Brontodon right now.
Oh you can put in definitely. A couple probably, but like man, I don't know. This Jund deck I think is bubbling to the top.
I've seen them in the sideboard only for now, and I reckon in the next couple of weeks we'll start seeing a couple of.
It's funny we haven't seen Leyline of the Void show up. But again, that's because
it's an option.
Yeah.
But also they're already siding in their enchantment removal.
Yeah.
So I mean it's not even such a problem because you just have to have the enchantment removal in for game 2.
It might be because the meta was slightly diverse this week. We had Teamer, we had Fires, we had Jund, but now if we see Fires and Reclamation lose meta percentage and we have all these cat oven decks right to the top, then maybe we might be looking at a meta again where Leyline of the Void sees play again.
Also, this was a week 1 meta, so essentially, people will be sideboarding next week pretty hard, I think. Yeah,
because we saw a lot of the Rakdos lists and Jund lists run the board wipe that does 2 damage to everything.
Yeah.
But that was mostly just because you have fears of week one aggro decks, but
Cryotherapy is pretty good against Jund.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
It doesn't. The only problem is it doesn't hit the Mayhem Devils,
which is actually a big deal.
Well, yeah, that's the thing you really want to kill. Yeah. But it does get rid of the cats, which can be the real long-term problem.
There is an argument, though, that this is okay, though, because I think probably Jund, Golgari, Rakdos, cat mirrors are fun, I think some people would say. I think it's a skill-based matchup. It's not like Oko turn 2, you lose in 5 turns.
Yeah, there's a little bit of playing things in sequence.
Assuming both decks have the engine running.
Yes, assuming.
But they're all mid-range decks. They need to hit their pieces, but once they do, there's decisions and there's misplays, and it is skill intensive.
Yeah, will be interesting to see how many draws come from this. I don't know how clogged up the board gets. Everyone's both
you do have to play fast and shortcut, especially when you're like, okay, I'm sacrificing my cat and now I'm sacrificing my food. Trigger my Mayhem Devil, my Corvold.
Yeah.
I was playing in the local championship and some people were running, Jund and Rakdos cat then, and I won a game because they timed out because the cat interactions take so long.
Mm.
They hit guaranteed lethal in the next
It's
like
like-
5 minutes.
It's
but
like
they have
3
the 5
clicks
minutes.
per cycle. It's quite bad.
It's,
Yeah.
and also like each second, because when you sacrifice food, even for Gilded Goose, you have to click the food, and there's always a bit where you kind of expect it to do it itself because you click the auto thing, which you have to click.
Yeah.
So you either have to click the goose or you have to click auto tap, and then you're like, oh yeah, and then I have to click the food, and then you do that, and then you have to do it again.
Yeah.
Every time.
So, do we think Standard is going to be healthy until Theros comes out? Have we
Healthy.
finally reached a healthy state?
It's still in flux.
Yeah.
Um,
Because we can go off that article, right? The fires thing is a fun, interactive, repeatable.
Ironic, they named it Fires.
Is that what they mentioned? I can't. In the article, in the design team article, they talked about the outlines and goals they have, and I think it was they go for fires design, which is like fun design, interactive design, repeatable gameplay, and so yeah, they have like a list, but it's mostly just a PR thing. It's not really like if you put like Narset and Teferi on that scale, they don't deserve to be in the format, but you know, whatever. But like, yeah, do we think Standard's gonna be fun until Theros comes out?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's actual space. There's nothing like repressing. I guess you can't play one toughness things, but that was kind of been a thing for a long time.
Chainwheeler
only just rotating.
True.
And now there's another 3 drop that completely annihilates all your one
Oh
toughness
jeez,
things.
yeah, you're right. Oh man.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
It's
fine.
like Brazen Borrowers, like
Oh yeah.
it's
my
stock is
gosh.
going to be going down because you can't really like expect it to survive.
Yeah, that 3-1
If you
just gets
play it.
pinged down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I saw you at FNM this week doing some pretty advanced things. Doing like, what's the maximum damage you did on a turn with like Mayhem Devil? I saw you do like 4 damage.
I
To a
think I
thing?
did 4 damage
Yeah.
to something. Yeah.
That's gross.
I
you
killed
know?
I killed a questing beast with just Mayhem Devil triggers.
That is gross, and that is power. You know, we're killing the 1 toughness things easy, but if we can squeeze out ways to kill 4 toughness things, oh man, and it's really free, isn't it? It's not really, oh man. Because like, what, you tap this, sack the cat, do 1 damage, bring the cat back by sacking the food, make another damage,
That's another damage.
and then just do another loop. Yeah, it's...
Are we all worried about the fact that we've spent this time talking about the meta and the only thing we've really talking about is Jund?
Yeah, no, it's... I'm afraid it's going to rise to the top, and I don't think there's a way to defeat it.
We might get a little bit sick of cats by the end of it. I think there are good answers for it, so I think we might see a format where by the end of it everyone is sideboarding, if not mainboarding, some ley lines.
Mono black aggro ley line on the voids main board or something. I don't
main
know.
deck your ley lines, good for devotion coming up.
It's just so hard to race.
And
you know?
well, there are other good decks. Fires is good, but now they're being hated out a little bit with all this disenchanting.
It's easy to disrupt.
I'm not
It's easy
sad
to
about that.
disenchant them. There's Flash, but Flash is awful against cats.
Yeah.
And then
because their engine comes down like, turn 2.
Rakdos Knights is pretty solid deck with like Embercleave decks. Gruul.
Yeah.
Embercleave is slightly worse than Rakdos.
Embercleave had a real
opinion.
bad time during the Rivals tournament this week, but we're having another GP I think this weekend, so we'll see the results from that. But
there are things you can play. Reclamation is obviously awful at the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of the games
It
I've lost
did
to have
awfully.
been the Gruul and Knights aggro decks.
Yeah.
So aggro is definitely the way you want to go if you want to beat Jund, I think.
You have to just go on top of them. You have to trample over. You just gotta kill them somehow, some way, some fast. But yeah, which makes me feel afraid about my intervention deck a little bit because I feel like
get him.
Yeah, you just gotta do that. But I feel like the surprise get 'em only works for 1 week, and then you start sideboarding and you start seeing the play patterns, and then you're fine. But
and I don't think Esper's any good at the moment either, just because it doesn't really end the game.
Yeah.
You have to end the game in this meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, there's lots of decks you can play, but then
Mm-hmm.
the tiers are very, very segmented. Like tier 1.
Yeah.
Cat decks are in there in some form. I'm not sure which color combination is better. They both have strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
I quite like the Rakdos aggressive versions a lot, but then the Jund version is just so flexible. I think that's probably.
I think the
on top.
Rakdos beats the Jund, and the Jund beats the
cat oven paper scissors rock.
But then the Jund beats anything that runs sort of enchantments. And has the value engine to do out the long mid-rangey games.
Well, then that kind of moves us to Magic Fest Brisbane. What are we playing?
Well, I've set myself up to be playing some form of cats. I've got Rakdos or Jund pretty much ready. I don't have any Corvolds at the moment. Neither does anyone else. But
how many Massacre Girls?
I've got 3.
3? Okay, cool.
I
That's the
reckon
sweet
Massacre
spot.
Girl's a really good. Yes, it's a really good mirror breaker.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking of.
I think the sweet spot is like one Corvold, one Massacre Girl. You just do a little bit of everything. One yeah, I don't know. What about you, Steph? What do you?
I'm also thinking Jumped Cats. Although now I just said that aggro will beat it, maybe aggro, but no,
aggro can't beat it.
I think aggro can beat it, but also I don't like being stuck on an aggro game
You
plan.
can't punch through. You got snake. You got cat block. You know, and then you sack it, gain a life.
You have the Embercleave, but I think Jund can also respond. To that
Flashing Voltrons
and also I think you're going to probably start seeing main deck Cry the Canariums in order to deal with the aggro, and also it is a mirror breaker.
There's just no aggro. We saw a couple mono red lists pop up in there, but it's just I don't know. We're not.
Well, that's the thing is like usually when you go to like any sort of open event in the first like. If you end up at the bottom tables from the first 3 rounds where it's like a free-for-all, you want to expect to see whatever the cheapest deck is and the easiest deck to pick up.
But
so that's usually, like we saw it in Adepts, right, where half the field was mono-red, even though mono-red wasn't that viable.
The Jund and the Rakdos list are fine because of Mayhem Devil. You land that, you sack a bunch of stuff, you kill all their X1s, all their aggro creatures. Like you don't have a problem.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's extra reason to bring in stuff because Mayhem Devil doesn't come down to turn 3, which means you're not sacking things till turn 4.
Yeah.
You could almost be dead by turn 4 if they're playing the aggroest aggro they can play.
Yeah, but we're just not seeing those lists right now. But yes, we could see the aggroest aggro, but it just I don't know. We're just not seeing.
I think the question is what you should look out for in Magic Fest Brisbane.
If you're looking,
what's the cheap deck?
If you're asking what's to find the cheap deck, it's Flash. It's blue green Flash.
Is it or is it?
Is it with Brazen Borrower?
Well, definitely not. Well, maybe.
Well, that's pretty expensive. But everything.
But
I mean, the cheap deck is Cavalcade, but I don't think anyone will be running that.
Mono, the big red deck is what?
Cavalcade
like
is cheap,
$90.
but
maybe Gruul?
it's the Flash deck. No, Gruul is pretty expensive. Embercleave is kind of expensive.
It's not really super cheap decks in the format this time.
It's Flash. It's blue green Flash. That deck is cheap as chips. It's made out of a bunch of uncommons.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
And it's also an easy deck to play almost. You just pass.
Hold up.
I mean,
there's still a lot of money to spend on lands, but yeah.
For sure. There's never a cheap deck.
You don't think Mono Black would be the cheap deck?
I haven't seen a single mono black list. We don't have the tools right now in standard. Oh no! Wait, no. I'm sorry. No, there is.
Rankle.
Yeah, there is the Rankle hand disruption focused like mono black list, which I see some people getting like 6/1s with and stuff. But yeah, maybe. But Rankle's not cheap.
It's not like other formats where there's always been like a. Basically, there's always been mono red to as an entry level deck for standard. Yeah. So.
I'll be playing the Invention. By the way, I'll answer my own question. Yeah.
We know.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I think the deck is quite cool.
Which way?
Invention.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
cool,
but I don't like. Are you super cemented in the Highlander thing? Like.
Oh no, I don't purely do Highlander. I don't go more than 2 though. Because I'm running. I run 2 Bedevils and like 2 things like that because there's been a lot of Planeswalkers. So it does adapt to the meta, and I'm gonna be borrowing Kaya's, the 3-mana Kaya to deal with the cats, and elves and things. So yeah, I'm only limited really to the multicolor. Like I've seen some people. I've actually seen some hype for an Invention pop up, but they've been playing like Hero 1, and I'm like I just don't want to. They've been doing that. They've been playing the Lantern, Chromatic Lantern. I'm not a big fan of this. I really love this one. I love this, and I've been playing so much with it that I just have all this practice with it. So, I think it's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
I'm fingers crossed.
I like your toolboxy list that you've got, where it can kind of answer a lot of things. I think you've made it quite aggro focused, which is gonna be quite helpful.
Yeah.
I do wonder if you're gonna suffer from people punishing enchantments.
Yes, that's why I was afraid of these fires lists popping up, because the strength of this one is that it's a surprise. So I'm hoping by the time Brisbane rolls around that all the fires deck will just kind of give up. But no.
I also think that the strength of the list was that you had a lot of answers for the meta, the previous meta where Oka was a thing. The meta's almost entirely changed now.
Yeah.
Like, so even the list that we recognize.
I can try design it to beat Cat
as much as possible. Yeah, so you're going to need to do a lot of research as to what to put in.
2 Ethereal Absolutions, I don't think really I need to run Casualties of War anymore, really. Yeah, actually, maybe, Casualties of War is okay. Kills one Oven, one Trail, one Mayhem Devil, one Vraska. Yeah, there's some value there.
I heard a story of a Fires deck that cast a full value Fires of Invention against cats and still lost.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. So
the other thing is your board wipes want to be running Deafening Clarion for your board wipes.
Yeah.
Because it's double coloured, so you can draw it.
Yeah.
But Cry of the Canarium is just strictly better.
It is.
Against the cats, at least. And Midnight Reaper.
I'll admit, I don't feel confident about this deck, but it's fun. And
I think that's actually important.
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing so much. You don't want to just, go oh, this deck is the best, I'll just play it.
Yeah.
I don't like playing it. Yeah. And then you'll be miserable and you'll play bad.
It's a toss-up, right? Because you also don't want to play, you don't want to pay $500 to go to Brisbane and then play a jank deck.
Yeah.
But you don't want to pay $500 to go to Brisbane and then have a bad time.
But I've had a lot of success in the past of these slightly tier 2 lists.
Yeah.
And I think you've described in the past that I'm not good at deck selection in terms of I don't pick the tier 1 deck, but I grind the hell out of the tier 2 deck trying to beat the tier 1 list, and I usually find success that way.
Yeah.
And I do love the benefit of giving my opponent a tough time sideboarding and just being I don't know what to do in this situation.
They bring out I've seen it before, people bring out their sideboard guide, stare at it for a while, put it back.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm hoping for. So it's really exciting. I looked up some numbers for Brisbane. In the past, I think they've had 800 or so attendees for the main event. So
right.
Yeah,
we might have a little bit less because Standard has not been very fun recently.
Yeah, I've seen in the last 2 Magic Fests, it's only been 600 or something. Richmond had 600 attendees, and that's ridiculously small.
Also, we've basically had 2 weeks to put together a list before this Brisbane trip.
Yeah.
So it's if you were, if you were traveling from Sydney and you didn't have to buy your flights and stuff, and you're deciding whether or not to go, you obviously that's a lot of work to put in. You might just decide not to. We're locked in. We have to.
Yeah, and I'm shocked at how Corvault's price hasn't been spiking. I know. I thought that people would pick up on the fact that John Nagor is the best, and Corvault, as rare as it is going to spike like mad. So
yes, well, the problem there's a big problem where the price is going to plummet in January when we get the next shipment of Brawl products.
Yeah.
Which is when we get them in New Zealand and Australia, I think.
Yeah. So.
But there's a GP in the middle.
Yeah. So we'll see. Well. All right. Well, good luck to us 3. Luke is not joining us. Unfortunately, he's busy with internship. So it'll just be us and
a friend of mine, Fraser.
Oh yeah,
he's coming along.
We'll have you'll see him in the blog.
Yeah, you'll see him.
And you'll see James and Jake McNally.
Yep, both of them will be there as well.
Fan favorites.
Fan favorites. Yeah, shout out to James and Jake.
So Fraser's been playing Simic Flash. Mm-hmm. He seems to be pretty keen on it. He says he's been doing great on the ladder with it on Arena. So should be fun. Should be a good time.
Banning Oko was 100% the right thing to do, but a part of me wishes that they had not, because then I could just play Oko.
I want to go back to Field.
I've been playing Oko for the Mogul Championship for weeks.
I've got so much practice.
I want to go back to Field of the Dead. I want to go back. I was happy. The Invention did great against Field of the Dead.
You were that personally. I know,
it was a good time.
Planning for a new meta 2 weeks before a GP is not ideal.
It's definitely maximum stressful. Did you notice I
think this is the first time I played an F in this Friday, wasn't it? The first time I played in weeks.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, because there was just
so many bans and there was no.
I've been playing Elementals because I'm sure it's how not building Oko for it to be banned, and literally none of the decks look the same as when they did beforehand. Yeah. So there was no practice to be had until the ban list happened.
It's gonna be a very strange Magic Fest.
Which is definitely there's been too many bans, but they definitely should be banning things a bit faster, I think. Because everyone knew Oko was going to be banned the week after it wasn't banned. Yeah. But you just had to wait until they'd done it. Yeah. They had to release an announcement saying it will not be emergency banned. That's how much it needed banning.
Yeah. It's a complete mess. Alright, though, let's move along to another product that's been released in the last month. We saw this at Richmond. It's called the Mystery Boosters.
Yeah, you're really hyped for this, right?
Well, let's talk about our initial receptions. What do we think of the design of the product?
Well, I thought it was kind of weird how they mixed like a cube set with sort of an unglued with the whole
it's
those
just for
those
conventions,
playtest
though.
cards.
Yeah, just for conventions.
it's
like,
a novelty.
I've never really been a fan of unglued sets,
Mhm.
so it was just kind of like it's kind of like, oh, funny joke, black, you lose the game.
Yeah, unsets are for me are like something that I will play one of if the store's super hype about and everyone's playing it, and then I just like the lands and that's it.
Did they have weird lands in this, or was that
No.
that's Theros that's got the weird lands, in it,
Yeah,
isn't it?
the Pokemon lands.
Yes, they didn't have any like incredible reprints in it
Mana
either.
Vault.
Mana Vault's a good card, yeah,
The
obviously,
Soul
but I
Link's
don't
thrown
know.
in
It's
there.
they had Mana Vault, which is like really expensive. How much is Mana Vault? Like
$200?
200. And then the next thing was worth like 80.
50. Oh, no,
50,
yeah. This
expropriate.
Teferi's,
Yeah.
expropriate.
So there was
Teferi's
a-
protection.
And you're
was in there.
the other thing is the list is so long, you're so unlikely to actually get
Yeah.
There's like-
these
yeah,
cards
there's
that
so
it's
many
real
cards.
weird
It's
to put something so high. And
genius in its design because they can reprint these cards. People can get them, but it doesn't hurt their reprint equity, as people like to call it. You know,
Yeah.
they can do this again.
Yeah.
They can now throw in Teferi's protection
This is
in Commander Masters next year.
Yeah.
Again, without
other than the
hurting equity.
uncommons, this is not going to make a dent in the secondary market. It'll be interesting because we haven't had a list of the foil
Yeah.
cards to be released. So possibly these cards will be more common because there'll only be some of them. There won't be 500 of them.
Yeah,
There'll
it's a
be-
curated list of all these cards that haven't made it to the rest of the cards. So I don't know. It really makes it or break it
It's-
for the store version.
What I've heard is that if you love Chaos Draft, then you'll absolutely love playing this set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GPs have had Chaos Drafts for a while, and they've always been super popular.
And
but
super
people,
expensive.
But they've always been really expensive as
Yeah.
well. And now you've got this product, and it's just like, oh, okay, it's a decently priced booster. And it's like, I don't know, is it $10 a booster now? Or,
Yeah.
There's no MSRP, so
oh,
we
okay,
just
it's
don't know.
whatever.
It's I think it was priced so it's slightly more expensive than standard, but only by like a few dollars. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not double like the Masters were, and I think it might even be slightly less than Modern Horizon.
Okay.
Modern Horizon.
So
Yeah.
so it's like Chaos Draft, but you don't have to worry about all the stupid like parasitic mechanics that are in all these sets that don't work with other sets, and yeah, so it's like it's actual fun Chaos Draft,
Yeah.
which is good.
In terms of fan reactions, everyone who didn't play it was negative about it, and everyone who played it was super duper positive about it, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
So it seems like it's a fun set, which is what it should be. It's interesting that they didn't price it as standard booster prices, despite the fact that
it's all
because
technically standard cards.
the value is very low on these. Like
Well, actually, it's not standard cards. I guess Teferi's protection was from a
Commander
Commander Recon.
cards.
Yeah. So, are we going to be playing? We're trying to get a game in
If
at
it-
Magic Fest Berkeley?
If it lines up, then
Yeah.
I'll join.
How high is it on your priority? Just like
well, everything is just like play the PPTQs or play the PTQs, play the main event, play
Yeah.
legacy events, and then everything else.
yeah.
Yeah,
after
I think I'm main event PTQ, maybe some grinders if I get knocked out of the PTQ really early. Pioneer, I'd like to play some
Yeah.
Pioneer, Modern, and then the mystery boosters don't even make the list. I don't think.
Interesting. I think then out of us three, I think I'm a little bit higher. I think it's a very special thing, and I'm not doing it because of this reason, but the fact that the unset cards. I'm a big fan of unset cards, and the fact that they're going to be just for convention editions.
Yeah.
This is like your one and only chance really to give it a go. So
That is
I
the
wanna
thing
try
because
that.
I want to play it in. I don't want to play it at a PT at Brisbane when there's so much stuff that
Yeah.
you can be doing like PTQs and stuff
Yeah.
that you can't do in store. I'd rather play it in store, but you can only get the convention cards in the convention. So that
I feel like I can bring some convention cards home and maybe sell them to people who.
yeah. Well,
Like
I mean,
Encore.
I say the
Yeah.
value is low, but like, the value could be quite high if there's not that much
Yeah.
from conventions, especially in New Zealand where we don't get
We don't get
conventions.
any conventions.
we
So,
don't get GPs.
yeah, so it's kind of an open market, and I think some of the cards are really fun. So we'll see. I'll see if I can squeeze one in. After this podcast, we plan on sitting down, looking at the schedule, and seeing exactly what we want to do. So
Yeah.
we'll go through that. Moving on from mystery boosters, we have a product being announced on Tuesday, New Zealand time. Secret Lair.
A new mystery product
I don't.
that we're meant to
I
get
don't
really
like these
hyped
mystery
about.
things at all. Like I don't like the fact that they are announcing announcements. I don't like I don't like the mystery.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
They're worse than Square Enix. They like announcing
Yeah.
announcements.
It's even more exhausting because they're not just announcing products, but they're announcing so many products.
Yeah.
They're announcing, like, this is like the 10th product announcement in the last couple of months. It's ridiculous.
So I guess, you know, we're 48 hours away from the announcement. Let's put our bets down. What is Secret Lair?
Okay. So they said it's not a booster product. They said it's a box. It comes in a box.
The box looks quite small.
Oh really? Okay.
It's half the size of a shovel head. Is what the video reveals it as.
Half the size.
It's about the pre-release
of a
box.
shovel head.
Yeah. Well, they use a shovel to dig it out of the ground in this video.
Okay.
In their little teaser video, but it looks about the size of a pre-release box.
about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those subscription services. That's my guess. They've mentioned there's a lot of hints. They've mentioned that in a tweet they said this is the weirdest art we've put on a sorcery, but not like the 3 other versions or something. So it's a sorcery that's been printed 3 times, and this is the 4th time with weird art. But it's coming in this box thing. So it sounds like, for me, it's some sort of subscription service, a loot box, but you can get, I don't know, maybe a mug or a t-shirt and some promo cards. You know, maybe like a Teferi's Protection with brand new art or something that people really want that you can subscribe for like $25-$30 or something. That's my guess. They're getting into the subscription game, which, I don't know, it's kind of lost a lot of popularity. It was really big like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I don't think people want to. Well, maybe people do. I don't personally want to subscribe to Magic when you're also like paying for drafts and like F&Ms and booster boxes every month, every 3 months, and pre-releases and.
You had an interesting idea, Steph, about the first tweet that said this is a product made for you, which is kind of a leading suggestion. But you thought that maybe it could be like an online deck builder service that you can now just start buying a deck or singles from a curated list of things. Perhaps.
Yeah, so like they'll list the cards that you can get, and it'll be like modern staples. So it'll be like, you know, Liliana and stuff.
Yeah.
And then or maybe not Liliana, maybe not that expensive, but you'll get they'll be of certain value, and then you can pick the cards that you want to build the list, and then they'll ship it to you. Because they said it's created for you, but I'm really going out on a limb here because it's really weird. What it probably is just a bunch of sealed decks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or something. It's going to be much less exciting probably than what everyone thinks it's going to be.
They've severely hyped it up, but it's just, I don't know, is it...
I have no clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I'm like trying to run through all the possibilities.
Taking stabs in the dark here, and it's so...
So, I don't know. It's going to come out on Tuesday, the announcement, and we'll just roll with it, I guess. But... There's been a lot of comments online about, especially with the Secret Lair being announced, that people are getting fatigued. They're getting announcement and release
before this, we had the Commander lineup for the next year, and there's 10 products in there.
Yeah, which we'll move on to that, but focusing specifically on this exhaustion.
Well, that is part of the exhaustion.
It is.
So many things. This is an addition to the normal Commander thing. Yeah. It's now like an extra 5 Commander products.
But people respond to this complaints that they say that you don't have to buy everything. Not everything is for you, so you don't have to be exhausted. But I don't know. How do you feel like the mental health of
you guys
those
remember
players?
how there's another unset coming out soon as well?
That one as well. I was just thinking about
set.
that. I was like, there was the mini unset that isn't a proper unset, but
which comes with you can just say I don't care about unsets, I don't care, but then they drag you back in with brand new full arts. Which makes you want to buy the product. If the lands are beautiful, of course, you want to pick them up.
Yeah, like I remember Unstable was like the massivest hype for the lands, and it was all anyone could talk about was the lands. They were amazing, and they are amazing. But you also can't escape it. Like I don't give a shit about unsets, but you're just like inundated with all this news about lands and their values and stuff like that, and whether you want them or not. Which I do.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna pick up the unset. It seems really cool. It's 2 players. You get 5 half-size decks. You mix 2 randomly together. You get brand new gameplay every time, and the lands. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna be personally picking up depending on its price, but
I think it's fair for people to say that there's too much. There's too many products. Even if you're not like you can say, oh, you don't have to buy the products. You don't have to care about these products. Yeah. But you do have to care about them a little, and you have to hear about them. And sometimes you do have to buy them. Like if you played Modern and Modern Horizons came out, you're like, well, I don't really want to care about Modern Horizons, but the format's warped and Hogak's dominating, and now
Yeah.
I need to buy 4 Renin 6s.
Because
You don't have a choice.
Because that's the exact thing, is that even though you don't care about the product and you don't have to buy it, other people will, and other people will beat you
And if
with the better product, with the power creep product in EDH and modern and standard and whatever.
And if you're a dedicated Magic player, it means you're probably playing at least 2 formats. You're
Yeah.
playing like standard and commander. You're playing modern and
Pretty likely to play
modern and
Commander
legacy
yet,
and
Yeah.
stuff.
So
Yeah, you're very likely playing
Single
commander.
commander. Every
Like-
time a commander set comes out, you want to buy something.
Yeah, every time a set comes out, standard releases cards into commander, modern horizons release cards into commander. If you're playing standard alone, like every now and then they'll just announce random like products like challenger decks and stuff.
Buy box promos.
You then have to care about like the equity of those.
Yeah.
Buy box promos. There's like if you're playing standard, you're probably playing arena and paper maybe. So then you have to care about arena announcements, which historic is a thing.
Oh
Yeah.
god, historic. I didn't even put that on my list. There's been so much Magic news. I forgot about historic.
It's good having
Not that we
diversity, but it means you need to care about more things. And when they're constantly releasing things that they don't really need to be releasing to update these things, then you just are flooded with information and news.
Yeah.
Especially in standard and commander formats where they're ever rotating and just constantly releasing products.
Yeah. Well, when all these releases come out, it's basically for me just like, look what's getting reprinted. Like if it's a legacy legal format set, then you can be like, oh well, is this going to break anything? No, probably not. All right.
The
On to
primary question
on to the
is-
next one.
Does it affect me? Are they reprinting features?
Well, I was actually thinking when I was hearing you talk, Steph, that I think some players don't like the feeling of being burned after a card spikes. So I think there's a lot of people out there that look at a whole set and think, oh man, I really need to get either 4 copies or 1 copy for their EDH deck. But because of this rush that comes out, and if you don't get it fast enough and the price spikes because it's played in some deck, you miss out almost on them, because you knew it cost $2 and now it costs $40 and you don't want to buy it. So I think that creates a lot of stress, anxiety
well.
around
things.
things.
And there's also like a FOMO thing.
Yeah.
And it's fair enough to say, oh, it's just FOMO, just wait like 6 months and then the price will probably drop on most of the cards.
Yeah.
But then you look at Oko, which started at 20 and then has now dropped to 30 and is spiking back up despite just being banned. There's Corvold, which you literally can't buy. There are no... If someone finds a New Zealand shop selling a Brawl Precon with Corvold in it, please link me because I can't fucking find one and I need to run 4 of them in Junt.
Yeah.
So like things sell out, things spike up. Like I was high on Braska well before Junt was good back at the start of the format when she was $8 and I couldn't find her, and now she's $30 and suddenly people are selling to me. So it's that thing of like you do have to spend more money if you don't get them early. So you have to be on the ball.
It's really funny to think that I think also the exhaustion comes from Wizards actually nailing their products because the side problem that people are having is that the products are being more expensive. There's more premium products, more collector products and things like that, and you want them.
Yeah.
If they were offer products and they were expensive, we wouldn't really care that much. We wouldn't experience so much FOMO. But these are this beautiful alternate arts, beautiful full art finishes, and part of us wants it, but they're expensive. So we're put in this position of we just can't afford it. So we are knowing that what we experience is a lesser good version of what could be
Modern
possible.
Horizons is a good example of that, where it's like the cards were good and they made a big impact on Modern, but the expense was very high because they would double the price of a normal booster, which means people don't want to draft them. People don't want to buy them. Renin 6 is at $100. If those packs were half price, Renin 6 would be at $50.
Well, now it's like $60.
Well, yeah, but it's tight when everyone needed it before it was opened enough.
Exactly.
It was at $100.
Like,
that's what people had
I
to
heard
buy
that
them
Modern Horizons was like one of the best limited formats of this year, but no one wanted to play
I got to draft it once.
Actually, a lot of people did. Yeah, but it's just cost.
Yeah.
Which I think Wizards have dug themselves a hole because they release standard products, which is $6 a booster, but then they release the exact same product for more dollars, and it doesn't make sense. It's just, it feels really bad to be partaking in this.
Yeah, that's real funny when they're master sets because it's literally, they can only argue secondary market because they're not redoing art. They're not, like, they're redoing the set symbol, so I guess that's a cost. But that's the only extra cost other than packaging them.
Yeah. Well, I only ever buy standard sets, so I mean, that happens every 3 months, and that's fine by me.
Yeah.
I do look at the spoilers every so often though, and it is constant. So
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, moving on to the last product we'll talk about. We got in a big announcement video put up by the Command Zone with Gavin, talking about the Commander lineup for next year. So, quick overview off the top of my head. We have 5 decks coming out with Ikoria. We have 2 slightly less good, more learner-focused decks coming out with Zendikar Rising, and then we have 2 coming up with Theros, or the one after... No, sorry. 2 more starter decks coming out with Commander Masters. That's what it is.
I'm really glad you gave that summary because I couldn't have told you any of that because I just know there's a shit ton of products really coming at us.
Well, I mean, as a Commander player, I care a lot about it. And it's going to be really exciting because I think the 5 Commander decks, they come with 70 brand new cards focused around Ikoria, but not inside Ikoria. Then the 2 starter Commander decks only come with 3 new cards, which I assume is the 3 legendaries. Everything else is reprints, so it's probably good opportunities to put reprints in there. The Commander Masters, the set where you can draft Commander, comes with 90 new legendaries, and it comes with, again, 2 starter decks with 3 exclusive legendaries that aren't in Commander Masters. Then we have Spellbook Green, which comes up with 9 special green, I think it's 9 cards, 9 green Commander staples, which foil versions of that product are coming, but only to WN Premium stores. So if you don't live near a WN Premium store, you miss out on that. So more FOMO from there. And I believe that's it. So yeah, they're going to be focusing on Commander a lot this year, which is one thing people wanted, because people who play Commander staples are just going up and up and up.
Well, they saw They saw how many people play Commander, and they went, "Wow, we're not releasing any Commander product."
It is the most popular format.
We need to get in that market.
Which it's definitely a good opportunity, because Commander decks, the box sealed products, they come out, they're $60 or however, but then 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, the prices steadily go up. And if you are a new player, and research says that a lot of people are actually getting into Magic with Commander, you only have 1 opportunity a year to do this. So they fix that by saying, okay, here are now 3-4 opportunities throughout the year where you can buy in. So
it's interesting because I thought that's what Brawl was supposed to be.
I guess they tried,
but it seems like they hedged their bets probably correctly.
Yeah.
Especially considering you can't actually buy Brawl Creek on
that. That is a good point. God, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because they definitely worked out that they can make a bit more money off releasing products for Commander players. But I feel like that's going to be really exhausting for Commander players because they also just get cards off standard sets and off Modern Horizon sets. Sort of
it's funny how the community, which we know loves to complain, but they complain about all these products, but yet all these products keep selling out. Like what is the special Garruk edition that came out with the portfolio?
Yeah, the really
people complain about that,
expensive.
and it was like $500 or something, and it sold out day 1.
But you know it's going to there's everyone complained about the Mythic edition so much that they stopped doing them and turned them into the collector's boosters.
How many of those got put on eBay for the same day?
Well, I was there's been no hype about it. When the Planeswalker version Masters came out with the 8 special Planeswalkers, those hit the market at the aftermarket instantly. You turned a profit right away, except for the second one. But these ones, I actually haven't heard much hype about it, because people don't want the binder and the oh my gosh,
I want the binder.
Oh my gosh, remember it has the small cutout of a foil sheet?
The mini foil.
9-card foil sheet. It's
nobody wants 9 foils.
Yeah, you'd rather have 9 foils or the full sheet. It's one or the other.
Cut them into cards for me so I can play them.
God, it's. Yeah.
Just go to a Magic Fest with your cutout foil and just go, why is this wonky? Is this fake? No, I just cut it myself.
Yeah.
So would you say, James, that you don't suffer from announcement product fatigue or wallet fatigue?
I don't suffer from... Well, my wallet is feeling pain because obviously so many bannings have happened, and I've needed to buy a new deck for this Grand Prix, and travelling for that is expensive. But I feel like I just...
more chill.
I'm more chill about it, but I do get why people are annoyed, because it is a lot of stuff. It's like, oh, Mystery Boosters just got revealed, and now there's another thing to look out for.
I will tell you it's slightly more annoying when there's 2 of you and half of you cares about a bunch of stuff that I don't like. He cares about Commander and I care about Modern and stuff.
Yeah.
And fixtures. So we're getting double that, and you get that a little bit when like your friends that like the LGS care a lot about like unstable or something.
That's
and you're like, I don't care about this product, but now you're just talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
And I need to invest myself in it a little, but it's like really expensive. Or it's like there's a lot of other things I want to be into more. So the hype definitely affects you from other people. I think.
What about you, Steph? Do you think you have product exhaustion? Do you
Oh
have
yeah, I wish that fucking stop.
Which.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the thing that we need are reprints, and instead of giving us reprints, they're trying to give us a lot of weird ways around. Like, so it's like they did this chaos draft thing, which is really cool for chaos drafting, but like you said, it's going to do nothing for reprint equity. Or they're going to do like these commander things where they're printing a bunch of new commander cards, but they're not actually reprinting a lot of commander cards.
2020, it is the year where they reprint fringes, right? Fetches have to squeeze into one of these products.
I'm expecting it.
Zendikar?
I think
Zendikar
so.
train? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's gotta be a Zendikar, because they're just like they've missed like there's so many products they should have put them in.
No, Commander Masters. That's what I think it's gonna go in. Commander Masters.
I don't want to be Commander Masters. I just want the fetches.
It's gonna be Commander Masters, and the booster pack's gonna be like 15. Actually, it's actually not, because that's the thing I'm worried about. You need 5 boosters, I think, to draft Commander, because they've got 20 card boosters, and I think you need 5 or 6 of them to draft, because you need 100 cards, unless they're doing 60 card decks for this weird format. Oh man.
I don't know if the people who price these products are clever enough to work that out though. Like I feel, because that's the other thing, is like when they do reprints, they're priced so much more expensive than other ones, so they sell less of them, so there are less reprints in circulation, so the more cards are more expensive.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So we're 100% sure that Fetches will be reprinted in 2020. No, you don't think so? No. 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You're 50%.
Yeah, I'm like 50%. I think they need to. I think they really need to.
Yeah.
But I think they also know that, especially like they can hold on to the Khans ones for a bit longer and get them up a bit higher. Maybe they'll just reprint the other half.
Well, okay. Well, a side note for you, especially Steph. Fast lands. The non-killerish ones. Will that be coming in 2020?
I mean, I was really convinced they were going to be coming in Eldraine until we started seeing Eldraine spoilers.
Yeah.
I just think, like, I don't know, it feels... People have been saying Fastlands literally since the Kaladesh Fastlands were printed, which is like 2 years ago. So the fact... I know it takes a while for them to put these things into products, but I just don't think that they're going fast enough. They're not paying enough attention to what needs to be reprinted to keep prices down. And I don't think because they know they don't need to, because the more expensive they are, the more of a pull they're going to be when they reprint them. So I don't think that they are necessarily going to print Fastlands, but I really want them to, because I really need to finish my Jund deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Shocklands would rotate first before that happens, right? I think on like a game design perspective, like you don't want to Shockland, Fastland, mana base and standard. I think that's...
Yeah, I think that really favours aggro. You're probably right there.
Yeah, I know. It's not the first time they've made mistakes.
The other thing is, Fastlands are arguably tied to location.
Yes,
like they are a little bit too specific.
Yeah.
So
that means they could come in Core 20 though. The year of Teferi.
Yeah, Teferi's the set.
Teferi the set.
I can't.
3 Teferis in one set.
I can't believe they made a Teferi
one
set.
each.
Yeah.
There literally hasn't been a Teferi people haven't complained about. No one likes Teferi anymore just because of how fucked up his card has been. We do not want him as the face of a set.
A lot of the
Chandra was
cards,
annoying enough because she's got an annoying personality.
A lot of the broken cards, like Teferi's Puzzle Box and like the other Teferi cards. Teferi, he tends to just bend the wills of magic, and makes things annoying. So
They just always push it. There was Teferi Hero of Dominaria, and they print him as the worst Teferi Curse Walker, which no one liked any of them, but he was like the most annoying. Immediately, Oko got banned, and 2 days later I saw on Reddit people complaining about Teferi again.
yeah, I was like, oh man, I forgot how bad Teferi was. Okay, so let's move on to our last few products unless... Yep. Quick pit stop here about the Magic storyline. We've seen a lot of drama about that. Steph, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, just like...
The book Forsaken?
Acknowledge that there's been a lot of complaints, probably pretty fairly. They had... So for years they had like a quite a good system where writing was done in-house, and it was done... I think they originally did them as novels, but then for ages it's been done free, and they released stories, and they weren't the highest quality storylines, but the heart was there, and they were told by people who knew the storylines a lot knew the storyline really well. They'd
The
written them for
characters.
years. They knew the characters, but they knew the rules. They knew the lore.
Yeah.
Which
The
is
rules.
important. Well, they knew how
Yeah.
how the magic universe works.
Did you see the thing about Kaya?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then they've after the Excellent storyline, which was it also was getting better. So like Excellent story was the best of it.
It was the peak.
And that was the last of it.
Yeah.
And then obviously Dominaria storyline came out, and that was free, but it was written by professional fantasy author Martha Wells, and it was terrible. Brandon Sanderson's one was better, but then now Forsaken's come out, and that was also pretty bad. So that outsourcing these stories to professional fantasy authors is not doing them very good favors, because it's a lot like coming in, like as someone who likes fantasy, coming into Magic's lore, it's just so massive. There's so much of it. You could sit there, you could read it for a year, and then someone could still tell you something that would surprise you as a full-time job.
Why do you think they're doing it? Are they trying to get the name drops? Is that what they're trying to do?
Brandon Sanderson and Martha Wells definitely was.
Yeah.
There was a complaint, like obviously they've recognised that the storyline is an IP in itself.
Yes.
So they have these decades of they've now sold it to
Netflix, yeah.
Which is probably another reason why they've gone professional.
Yeah.
And they've also realised that they can make money again by selling novels if they up the quality of the writing. Because the quality of the story was good, but the quality of the writing was relatively weak. But also, to be fair, it is also aimed at children, so it's quite hard. Like, you have to make it so that 8-year-olds can read it. So it's quite hard to tell those stories.
Well, I mean, the game is 13 plus, so 13 years old.
Young adult novels
Young adult,
can
yeah.
have good writing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they can have
Yeah.
good writing, but they've got simpler writing.
Yeah, simpler.
Yeah.
But and then of course they had stylistic things they had to continue. But so they've tried to up the quality by getting professional writers, and also get some more exposure. So like Martha Wells has her own fan base. Brandon Sanderson is the fantasy author. He's like the top one fantasy author.
Wizards thought they could hire writers, so they did.
This latest book was spearheaded by I won't make it a personal attack, but so it was spearheaded by someone, and they've probably taken what seems like a personal direction, because they've definitely gone off the track that was set up with the Gatewatch onwards. Gatewatch takes on. So there was things set up between Nissa and Chandra, which I'm sure there's been a lot of things about, so we'll sum up that briefly, where basically Nissa and Chandra were set up from the very beginning of the Gatewatch, and they were supposed to reach its peak in War of the Spark, and finish off the storyline, and then in Forsaken, they retconned it basically and said that their relationship had never happened and their feelings had never happened, and Chandra was straight the whole time. Decidedly male is the type of person she's into. But there was also other things like Vraska and Jace, which was widely considered one of the best written relationships of Magic. And was set up for a while, with Jace's storyline being set up from like when he first started dating Liliana, and that was also pretty much dismissed in Roseburg. And then there's Kaya, who just breaks all the rules of Magic. All in on rules of Magic. Just in a really offhand comment. There's been some acknowledgement. There's been acknowledgement that the most outrage was about the Chandra storyline. Because you have to you can't focus on all of it was all talked about, but that was where it was focused. There's been an apology released by Wizards, which was a bit cold, but Mark Rosewater did release a second one, his own personal feelings on it, on his Tumblr, and that was a bit better.
It was really heartfelt.
It acknowledged that there'd been wrongdoing and that they intend to do better, is what people.
I know they won't, but I wish they could just talk about who. So they can't. I know they can throw someone under the bus, but
they can't throw the
I
head
just
right
want to
under
know
the bus,
who retconned it, and I want to slightly buy into the conspiracy theory that because of this Netflix show focused around Chandra, that's part of why they had to retcon it slightly to hit the wider audience.
Yeah, I want them to acknowledge that they will basically retcon that.
That's what everyone wants. Forsaken, non-canon. We'll try again. That's what everyone wants.
Yeah.
And I don't think half of the people will be satisfied until they officially say that Forsaken is non-canon.
The thing with a continuing storyline, though, is that it has to be, you can't make massive mistakes like that. It has to be solid.
This is the setup
it
for the
doesn't
next
have to
arc.
be good, but
Yeah.
it has to be decent the whole way through so that you don't lose people. Like, I basically got lost in Dominaria. I got to Dominaria, I'm like, I don't care about the story anymore because they just... Like, that was where they fucked up Jace. That's where they started fucking up Jace. And they just made him totally out of... It's like they hadn't... The person who wrote Dominaria hadn't read Ixalan.
Yeah.
And all the character development that happened there. So, the fact that, like, there's been this massive problem that everyone's outraged by, and I don't think many people will want to continue reading the books, right after they tried to sell them, instead of releasing them for free, is probably not going to do them many favours for the next few stories, and I think they're going to have a big PR thing to make up for there.
Anything to add in, James? Are you big on the stories for Magic?
No, I did read all the really awful lines that were in it.
Yeah.
Some of those were pretty funny, like, I'm doing what a necromancer is born to do. I'm draining the life force from my enemy. And the never been into guys, decidedly male part. Was that Kaya being like, how did you manage to planeswalk a person?
Yeah.
Because I can.
Did you see the line of, like, the narrator going, Kaya was alone in her room, and Kaya's like, well, that's because I'm always alone in my room. Who is she talking to? She's talking to the narrator.
Random fourth wall break for no reason.
Random fourth wall break. I just don't understand. In this writer, he is established as a screenplay writer for the Titans.
There's been some criticism of his previous writing credentials.
A little bit, yeah. I just don't know. But someone had to sign it off. And maybe the person who signed it off didn't feel like reading the writing and just signed it off.
The person who just signed it off realised that because the other thing was that War of the Spark Forsaken was quite obviously supposed to be a sequel to a... Sorry. The book before Forsaken was supposed to be a sequel to... War of the Spark was supposed to be a sequel to Forsaken.
Oh, what? Is that how it is? No? It was supposed to.
Yeah,
Okay.
So War of the Spark talks a lot about things that have happened in Forsaken, and they've obviously had to go in and quickly throw in this background stuff, and then what you see, so like obviously like in War of the Sparks are all like...
I heard that complaint, yeah.
Yeah, so in the thing, I think maybe just after War of the Spark or War of the Spark, I'm not entirely sure, but War of the thing before Forsaken had a lot of things that reference the things that are happening in Forsaken, and they quickly had to sum them up, and then you read about them in Forsaken. So the book that you were paying for, you already know the events that have happened because they talk about them in that one, and then you don't want to read the first one because you're like, what the fuck, last time this person was here and now they're doing this thing that doesn't make any sense because there's a whole novel in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
So so that was probably why it got released, because they decided on this sell philosophy rather than release. And they had to do all the publishing shit around that, because publishing takes a while usually, traditionally.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, let's move on to our last topic for this podcast, Arena Historic. Do we have anything to say about Arena Historic?
Does anyone care?
Well, we got the announcement that a curated list of 15, 16, 17 or so cards got released, and there was a historic event this week, and now we know that Historic Ranked is coming, but I don't know.
Historic Ranked is a thing now. You can play best of 3 Historic as well. And if you want to play against Oko again, you can go play in Historic queues. So you guys have your wish. You can now play against Field of the Dead and Oko decks.
Just meant for the GP. Just means I didn't have to learn a whole new meta.
I heard Kethis was like the
Kethis
best
is
deck.
really good because there's Emery added to it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think, what's the new legendary that they added in, the white one? The one that searches your library for legends kind of adds to it as well.
Oh.
Tazri, I think is it Tazri?
Oh, the historic thing, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's gross.
She's like a commander card, but actually she does let you tutor for your legends in Kethis. You can play elves. I don't think elves is very good.
I heard it's bad. I heard it's not good enough.
Treasure hunt into what's that guy? The Minotaur, where you discard your hand and deal that much damage.
Oh yeah,
I think that's
thing?
the one. Yeah, that's a 1-turn kill.
Wow.
5 mana, draw your whole deck, and deal them 20 or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a bit of a wild thing. It's cool because it's a new meta. So it's got that appeal to it, but apart from that, it's just like old standard.
You're surprisingly well versed. Have you been paying attention to this?
I've just been watching some live streams.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, if you had more wildcards, would you join in on the fun?
I probably would, but I'm pretty focused on standard, and I use all my wildcards.
I don't know how you can afford both standard and historic, especially with historic coming with more cards.
So I mean, they've dialed back those cards to start with.
Yes, no more Wormcoil Legends.
It's a good thing and a bad thing. So obviously, I personally think the whole idea of releasing a curated list is a terrible idea.
It is. It's not great.
And obviously they released Pioneer, which everyone was hoping Historic would be. And there was a brief hope when they released it that eventually Historic would merge into Pioneer. Which they've said
They'll do
Pioneer
eventually.
will be coming to Arena. But
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily mean they're merging because of the curated list.
Yeah, from what it sounds like, they're not merging, and Pioneer's going to be they're going to have Pioneer. There might be some cards missing because they'll put curated lists in, basically.
It's really hard.
They're going to do like Pioneer Masters on Arena or something like that.
Yeah. Because we've seen that the first created list of Historic has one card that's not in Pioneer. It goes too far back.
Yeah,
so that's already this divergent community message of like, we'll bring Pioneer eventually, but this curated list, it's we're putting cards that are beyond Pioneers. Like, it's kind of like almost a wasted effort. But
It's really hard to care about Historic when Pioneer is so good.
Historic's basically, I think what they're intending is that Historic's going to be the legacy of Arena.
Yeah.
And it's like, they probably won't ban cards from Historic. It'll just be like, you can play any card you want, and plus there's also all these legacy and modern legal cards in there that you can also play with. And Pioneer's going to be the modern.
it's kind of like Hearthstone
Arena.
Wild, right?
Hearthstone's
Wild mode. They just don't care.
They just
things
don't care
just
what
go
the
in
meta's
there.
like. Well, they're adding curated cards. So
Yeah,
they
well,
must
that
look
too,
at it.
but
they must care about
I
what's
guess
in there.
so. I guess, yeah.
I really don't like the idea of a format that they can never translate to paper, because they can't.
Yeah.
They've just added cards willy-nilly at random.
That's what I thought. I thought when they announced Historic that maybe eventually it'll come to paper, but yeah, with this created list, it's just not possible. It is going to be an Arena only thing.
To be fair, the annoying thing about, half of the annoying thing about Historic was that everyone wanted a postmodern format, a new mini modern, which we have now, so we're happy about that. But the other thing that sucks about Historic is that until Pioneer's there, like, if you don't care about Historic, which is really hard to because it's never going to be like a proper format, then you're just sitting there with all these old cards in your collection. But at least with Pioneer coming, they may have a purpose.
It'll be interesting to see if they do a Mythic Championship Invitational with Historic or something next year.
That would be fun.
I don't know.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, they do that sometimes with Hearthstone. Once in a blue moon, you see a wild tournament. And it's exciting-ish.
Yeah.
Lots of broken stuff, but so we'll see if that's the thing.
I just think it's a bad format.
It is,
Like
and I think we're starting to see the Arena department of Wizards not communicating with the rest of the departments. Like we mentioned that last podcast. So we'll see if they can fix that into the new year. But it just seems like it might be a continuing problem, especially when we saw Oko got banned in Brawl Arena, not Brawl Paper.
Yeah,
That took another week for
a
it to come out.
separate announcement.
Which
for Paper.
was really
it means there must be
weird.
some other team somewhere that's making this decision. That it's ridiculous that happened.
It doesn't even be on the team. It can't be on the team making the decision because Brawl is just a format, which is why I don't understand why it wasn't banned in Brawl full stop, and then they said that it won't come in, because that's how it works. Like, and if you ban something in standard, it's banned immediately on Arena, which also sucks, by the way, when you're in the middle of a fucking tournament. But then it takes like until the Friday, for it to come in paper.
Yeah.
Which I think is also something that they should fix, because now Arena tournaments are a thing. It's not just Mogul. There are other people doing other tournaments.
Yeah.
And for something to be banned literally with zero notice. Like, not zero notice, but like literally 1 minute you could play Oko and the next you couldn't. That really sucks in the middle of a tournament.
Yeah. Well, I like the quick turnaround, because obviously you're like, we really want the format to be fixed, and it got immediately changed. I liked that.
I like that. I think it should take like 2 days. I think they should do the ban and restricted announcement, and then there should be a 2-day thing where you can play.
What I think they would be really nice is if they do another big ban announcement like this, they should make a special thing where they bring back the 12 games event they do at the start of the thing. They should just reload that into the system so people can experiment with some more decks. The format
I wasted a lot of, like, I got wildcards back, not enough because I'd spent like wildcards on Wicked Wolf and stuff, but then I wasted those wildcards trying to fucking work out a Fires deck to play.
Yeah, and I know they won't do this, but I wish that Magic had a sandbox mode, either only against bots or only against friends. Which, speaking of friends list delayed yet again, another month. We just can't have friends on Arena, and that's all I want. I just
lonely people.
I want to just randomly log into Arena and see my friends online and just play games. That's all I want, really, from Arena, because Whatever. So yeah, big month for Magic. It's been an exhausting, turbulent month. Any last words before we wrap up?
Wish us luck for Brisbane.
Wish us luck.
Yeah, great. Yep.
Yeah.
Tune into the vlog again. We've picked up a drone, so we'll might see some drone B-roll footage of Brisbane.
We don't get fucking
Drone
caught droning in the
action,
middle of the city.
Yeah, that too, and we've got some lapel mics, so we'll see how things go in Brisbane. Sorry, thanks for tuning in.
Tune in to our mobile stream
Yes, tune into our mobile stream
next week.
Yeah, and we will see you guys around. Bye.
Time.
Bye.